The hum of the space station was constant, a quiet rhythm that seemed to echo through every corridor. Marcus leaned over the maintenance panel in his small quarters, his fingers tracing wires and circuits as though he could feel their energy. The station had been orbiting the planet Arian 7 for months now, and every day brought its share of problems. Some were small, lights that flickered or doors that jammed, but others threatened the entire station. Tonight it was the main energy core. If it failed, the station would drift dangerously close to the asteroid field nearby, and no one wanted to explain that disaster to the station commander. Marcus wiped sweat from his brow. He was so focused that he barely noticed the low chime that signaled a visitor. Doors on the station usually required authorization, and Marcus assumed it was a colleague coming to check on him. He straightened up and was halfway to the door when it slid open silently. Standing in the doorway was a figure he had never expected. A young alien woman, tall and graceful, with skin that shimmered faintly under the station lights. Her eyes were large and luminous, reflecting intelligence and curiosity. Her hair fell in long, straight strands, dark against her pale skin. She carried herself with a confidence that made Marcus step back slightly, uncertain of her intentions. She didn't speak at first. Instead, she simply looked around, assessing the room, the equipment, and him. Then, with a gesture, she indicated the maintenance panel. "Move over," she said, her voice clear and steady, though Marcus didn't understand the words fully. The tone made it clear she expected cooperation, not resistance. Marcus blinked, then stepped aside. There was something commanding about her presence, and he felt no threat, only the sense that she had a purpose. "Listen, you want to help?" he asked, though the words sounded awkward even to him. She nodded. Her movements were fluid, precise, almost elegant as she approached the panel. Marcus watched as she touched the wiring, her fingers emitting a faint pulse that caused the circuits to respond. He had never seen anything like it. Her species seemed to have a natural connection with energy, a way of sensing and adjusting it that humans couldn't. "This core, it's unstable," she said, pointing to a cluster of wires sparking faintly. She didn't explain how she knew. She didn't need to. Marcus felt his own understanding of the system shift as he followed her hands, watching her guide the energy flow back into balance. The hum of the station grew louder, almost as if it recognized her touch. Marcus felt a thrill of excitement and fear. This was no ordinary repair. If she succeeded, the station would be safe. If she failed, well, he didn't want to think about failure. "You must reroute the auxiliary circuits," she instructed. Marcus nodded, trying to keep up. His human logic guided him through the wiring schematics while she provided instinctive insight into how the energy moved. Together, they worked in a rhythm neither fully understood, but both trusted. Minutes passed, and the room seemed to grow smaller, the lights brighter, the hum of the station more urgent. Marcus's heart pounded as another chime rang, a warning alert. The station's trajectory sensors had detected a shift in the nearby asteroid field. If the core failed even slightly, the station would drift into danger. "We need to stabilize the station now," the alien woman said, her voice calm but urgent. She moved to the terminal beside the panel, her fingers flying across the holographic display. Marcus followed, inputting the commands she indicated, his mind racing to keep up with the speed of her intuition. As they worked, Marcus realized something important. The alien woman wasn't just helping him fix the system. She was teaching him. Her knowledge of energy, of the station, of physics beyond what humans had developed, was remarkable. And yet, she relied on him too, on his methodical approach, his understanding of mechanics, and his ability to calculate consequences. They were a team, a strange combination of human logic and alien instinct. Hours seemed to pass in minutes. The energy core stabilized, sparks fading into a soft glow. Marcus exhaled a long breath he hadn't realized he was holding. But their work wasn't done. The asteroid field was moving unpredictably, and the station needed precise adjustments to avoid collision. "Follow my lead," the alien woman said, and Marcus nodded. Together, they accessed the station's thruster controls. She guided his hands on the holographic console, showing him patterns in the asteroid movements. He had never seen data like this, streams of energy and motion that seemed alive on the display. They worked silently, communicating through gestures and shared understanding. Every command, every adjustment, brought the station closer to safety. Marcus felt a sense of awe, not just at the alien woman's skill, but at how humans could rise to the challenge when faced with danger. He realized that this was why they were respected across the galaxy. Humans could adapt, think creatively, and act decisively in the face of uncertainty. A sudden jolt shook the station. An asteroid had come too close, its mass creating a gravitational tug. Marcus's hands flew across the controls, inputting the calculations she indicated. She guided him, her calm voice steady, even as the station shuddered. Together they maneuvered the station out of harm's way. When the motion stopped, the station's alarms quieted. Marcus slumped into the chair beside the console. Sweat ran down his face and his fingers were sore from the frantic adjustments. He looked at the alien woman, expecting her to move on, but she just stood there, watching the monitors with a slight smile. "You did well," she said finally, her voice carrying a warmth that Marcus hadn't expected. "Your species. You are capable of more than you realize." Marcus felt a rush of pride. He had done his part, yes, but it was the combination of his thinking and her intuition that had saved the station. And in that moment, he understood something deeper. Humanity's strength wasn't in a single person or skill, but in the willingness to work, adapt, and overcome impossible odds. The alien woman turned toward the door, and Marcus realized he wanted to ask her name, to know more about her species, about how she came to understand energy in a way no human could. But before he could speak, she paused. "You will see more," she said. "There are things coming that you cannot yet imagine. Be ready." Then she was gone. The door slid shut behind her, leaving Marcus alone with the hum of the station and the fading pulse of the core. He leaned back, exhausted but exhilarated. Everything had changed in these few hours. The station was safe, the asteroid field avoided, and a new respect for the galaxy and his place in it filled him. Marcus knew one thing for certain: humans were more than they seemed. Against odds, against unknown forces, they could prevail. And perhaps, just perhaps, the galaxy was about to discover the full extent of what humanity could achieve. He didn't notice the faint glow on the panel, almost like a whisper of energy, a reminder that the alien woman's presence had left more than just stabilized circuits. It had left a spark, something that hinted at greater challenges, greater adventures, and a universe that was waiting to see what humans could do next. Marcus sat back in his chair, watching the stars through the viewport. The asteroid field shimmered in the distance, silent and indifferent. But for the first time, he felt confident. Whatever the universe threw at humans, they would rise to meet it. They always did. And somewhere, beyond the limits of human sensors, the alien woman observed from afar, knowing that this human, this small figure on a distant station, was someone extraordinary. She had tested him, worked with him, and seen the spark that made humans unique. For Marcus, the night ended quietly, but he could not sleep. His mind raced with possibilities, with plans, with the thought that he had just glimpsed the edge of what humanity could achieve in the galaxy. And in the quiet hum of the station, he knew that this was only the beginning. The station creaked and groaned as it drifted slowly away from the asteroid field. Marcus had spent the night staring at the star-filled expanse outside his viewport, replaying every moment of the previous evening. The alien woman's appearance had shaken him, but it had also shown him something profound. Humans could rise to challenges that no one else could manage. He had a feeling that this was only the beginning. As dawn approached, the station's lights brightened gradually, revealing every corridor, every metallic surface. Marcus rubbed his eyes and made his way to the central hub. He was not the only one awake. The station crew had gathered in small groups discussing the narrowly avoided catastrophe. Whispers of astonishment passed through the human engineers. They spoke of the asteroid field, the unexpected movement, and the mysterious alien woman who had helped save them all. Marcus shook his head. No one could understand her fully, not yet. He was still trying to grasp the way she had sensed the energy flows, adjusted the circuits, and guided him through calculations that he barely had time to think about. But he knew one thing: humans were capable of more than anyone had realized, and now it was time to prove it again. The emergency alert system beeped suddenly, drawing everyone's attention. A new signal appeared on the station's monitors. This time it was not an asteroid, but a small, unmapped vessel approaching at high speed. Marcus's stomach tightened. The station had sensors to detect incoming ships, but this one had appeared too quickly, too silently to be registered properly. The alien woman appeared at his side once more. She moved with the same grace and confidence as before, her eyes scanning the readings on the console. Marcus followed her gaze. The vessel was unfamiliar, and its trajectory suggested it might collide with the station. But there was something strange about it. The energy signature was unusual, like nothing Marcus had ever seen. "We cannot allow it to strike the station," she said. "Prepare the external stabilization units." Marcus nodded, calling out commands to the engineers. The station's external thrusters were powerful but required careful coordination. Any mistake could cause the station to spin uncontrollably. He moved to the maintenance bay, where robotic arms and drones waited. The alien woman followed him, stepping into the area with a calm determination that made everyone else pause. The vessel was getting closer. Marcus felt the tension rise in the room. The station's sensors showed no sign of weaponry, but the high-speed approach was dangerous enough. Marcus and the alien woman worked side by side, connecting auxiliary power sources to the stabilization units. She touched the conduits with her hands, and Marcus felt a pulse of energy flow through the system. The thrusters hummed to life, ready to respond to any sudden movement. Marcus directed the engineers to monitor the station's hull integrity and thruster output. The alien woman adjusted the energy flows, her knowledge complementing his calculations perfectly. Together, they were a combination of human ingenuity and alien intuition, a team that no one else could replicate. The vessel drew nearer, and Marcus could see its sleek design through the viewport. It was small, almost like a scout ship, but built to survive high-velocity impact. Sensors showed no signs of life inside, yet the energy signature was active. Marcus's mind raced. Was it automated? Was it a threat or a test? "Trust your instincts," the alien woman said. "You have the skill to manage this." Marcus took a deep breath and directed the thrusters. He moved the station gradually, adjusting the energy flow through the core as he had learned from her the night before. The vessel approached rapidly, but Marcus's calculations were precise. The station moved with grace, dodging the incoming object as though it were alive. The vessel skimmed past the station, leaving behind a faint trail of energy that Marcus immediately recognized as a warning. It had not collided, but it had sent a message. Someone or something was testing them. Marcus turned to the alien woman. "It was intentional," he said. "They wanted to see if we could respond." She nodded, her eyes reflecting approval. "Yes, and you have done well. Humans have a unique capacity for rapid adaptation. This is why others fear and respect your species." The crew around them whispered among themselves, astonished at what had just occurred. Marcus felt a sense of pride. This was humanity at its best, calm under pressure, innovative under threat, and courageous when faced with unknown dangers. But the night's events were far from over. The alien woman guided Marcus to the station's main observation deck. The stars stretched endlessly before them, but there was something different in the distance. A cluster of energy patterns, pulsating with a rhythm that seemed almost deliberate. "This is not natural," she said. "Someone is orchestrating this. They are watching, and they may test us further." Marcus frowned. "Who would do this? And why?" She looked at him with a calm intensity. "There are forces in the galaxy that underestimate humans. They believe you are fragile, limited. They do not know that your minds never stop, that your courage is unmatched, and that your species can innovate in ways others cannot imagine." Marcus felt a surge of determination. He understood now why humans were respected across the stars. It was not just strength or technology. It was persistence, adaptability, and the ability to overcome challenges without giving in to fear. Suddenly, the energy patterns intensified. Marcus and the alien woman moved to the control console, analyzing the readings. It appeared that the patterns were moving closer to the station, synchronized with the rotation of nearby asteroids. If the station did not adjust its position precisely, these energy formations could interfere with the core, causing a catastrophic malfunction. Marcus glanced at the alien woman. "We need to act fast." She nodded, her expression calm but urgent. "Follow my guidance. You will manage the calculations. I will guide the energy flows. They work together seamlessly." Marcus input precise commands while she directed the flow of energy with her touch. The station shuddered as the formations approached, but their combined efforts stabilized the core. Marcus felt the pulse of energy beneath his fingers, the station responding as if it were alive. Hours passed in tense silence. The only sounds the hum of the station's systems and the soft beeps of monitors. Marcus realized that this was more than a test. It was an opportunity to prove that humans were capable of extraordinary feats when faced with impossible odds. Finally, the energy patterns dissipated, moving away from the station. Marcus slumped in his chair, exhausted but exhilarated. The alien woman placed a hand on his shoulder, a gesture of acknowledgement and respect. "You have done well," she said. "Humanity's potential is limitless. You think quickly, adapt easily, and act decisively. This is why others will come to rely on you, and why some will fear your species." Marcus smiled, feeling a sense of pride that went beyond personal achievement. It was a recognition of all humans, their ingenuity, their courage, and their ability to face challenges no one else could handle. As the station quieted, Marcus looked out at the stars again. He realized that the galaxy was vast, full of dangers and mysteries, but also full of opportunities. And humans could rise to meet them all. The alien woman turned to leave once more, her presence a reminder of the unknown challenges yet to come. Marcus knew he would see her again. She had introduced him to a larger universe, one that required skill, courage, and intellect. Humans were not just participants, they were leaders, innovators, and survivors. Marcus returned to his quarters, his mind alive with possibilities. He knew that the galaxy would test humans in ways no one had imagined, but he was ready. And he knew that when the time came, humanity would rise. Somewhere beyond the limits of the station, the alien woman observed silently. She had seen the spark of potential in Marcus and in his species. She knew that humans could face any challenge and emerge victorious. And she knew that this was only the beginning of a new chapter for the galaxy, one in which humanity would take its rightful place among the stars. Marcus sat at his console, reviewing the events of the past day. The asteroid field, the approaching vessel, the mysterious energy patterns, all of it was dangerous, yes, but it was also a reminder that humans were capable of extraordinary things. And now he was determined to prove it again and again. The station hummed quietly around him, a living testament to human ingenuity and perseverance. Marcus smiled. The galaxy was vast. The challenges were immense, but humanity was ready. And with allies like the young alien woman, there was no limit to what they could achieve. As he prepared for the next set of checks, Marcus felt a renewed sense of purpose. The universe was watching and humanity was ready to respond. And somewhere in the shadows of space, new challenges were already forming. But Marcus was no longer afraid. He was a human, and humans never gave up.